Welcome to Tech and Talk. So this episode will be a very important episode because we are going to finalize the store management application in a way that we are going to apply the authentication and authorization today in this application. Um, One thing I want to make clear that we will not stop adding videos in this series, because with every new version of .NET there will be few new features, and we will make sure that we will update this project with every new release. So let's get started. For the authentication and authorization, what is it saying? Okay, yeah. All right, so before going to any further, let me recap what we did last time. So last time we created the relationship between store and product. So our store now will have a product. Each store will have a product, right? So before getting into its details, let's implement that login and logout feature. Why it's so important? Because it's cross-cutting concern, and we need to make sure that our applications are secure. So for every application, login and authentication is very important, right? We don't want to expose or we don't want to give access to of our resources to any malicious users. So for that one, we need to add start with adding few authentication um, extension methods. But before that, because we moved all this configuration into a separate layer, which is our infrastructure layer, so we need to implement that change here in that layer. So for that one, let's start adding few you know uh, call methods on those on that services object. For that one, we need to add authentication, and we know that this is a library project. By default it will not be available here. For that one, we need to go to the packages, and from within the packages we need to search for authentication, like this. We need to include two packages here. First of all, we will require core.authentication package. We need to install this one, and after that we will need another one, which is one for the cookie. Where is that one? Yeah, here it is. So we need to install the authentication support for cookies. Okay, both are included. We can see that them here now, and now that should be accessible. I need to let's just try one more time. Add authentication this way, and in add authentication we need to provide cookie scheme, uh, key authentication defaults dot authentication scheme, and next we will add cookie this way, and we can do that as well, but for specific configuration we can pass them as input into add cookie method as anonymous function, which will be cookie options, and we will going to pass all those configs like this. And the only thing which is required the most is cookie options dot login path, and it should be set like slash authentication slash login. Right, so that is the one bit of it. So let's add few comments. Setting configuration for authentication, this one. And one more thing we will require is in the program.cs we need to add app dot authentication here as well. Okay, so the configuration part is done. We can remove the unnecessary usings, and we can save this, and we are good. Now our next thing would be we need to add a controller, that would be authentication controller. And how we will going to add is just right click on controller. We did that one, we performed that step many times before, so that should be clear by now. And we will be adding a controller which will be named as authentication controller, and inside it we know that we need a get method for login this way. And let's quickly add a view, add view, empty eraser view, yes. And let's add this one, and let's name it login.cshtml. Great. And put some HTML inside that, login this way. And we can just simply press Ctrl F5 and double check that endpoint. Okay, it's refreshing, and hopefully once it's done we should be able to move to authentication slash login. Yes, we can, which is good. Next thing is we need to make sure that home and product and store controllers are not accessible to the public anymore. Authorize, we just simply can put authorize everywhere. By everywhere I mean on the top of the controller for now as an annotation. Authorize, let's again press Ctrl F5 and see how it works. And let's go to the home, and we should be redirected to login page anywhere, right? Whenever we click on any of those options, we will be redirected back to the login page. So one part of authorization is completed. Second part would be to log in actually into the site and double check if it actually works or not. So for that one, let's quickly go to the authentication controller inside that login view. And first of all, let's create a post method, http post, and we will pass. Now that is the case where we will require a model here inside the web application, because login model will not be passed as for now anywhere into any of the above layers. So we can do is go to the models, add a new class, and we can name it login model dot cs. Okay, and here we can what we can do is just put login model, and we can put some lines of code, and we can name it login model, and here we can pass something like public string email and password and a string remember me, right? So we can do that thing, and because these are not nullable, so what we can do is we can mark them required. Is that feature enabled here? Not at the moment, so we can ignore that feature for now. We can otherwise can initialize those strings with the string dot empty and string dot empty, not string dot empty. In that particular case it should be a bool, and we know that by default bool value is false, so that should be fine. Okay, so let's quickly get back to the authentication controller, and here we can pass the model login model this way, and we need to redirect to redirect to action, and that would be index of our home controller. Okay, that's fine. And inside here what we can use is http what is the context, I guess, http context dot sign in async, and it was a couple of things. First of all, list of claims. We need to create one new claims, not this way, new list of claim list of claim that is not accessible here. Why is that so? And we can put those claims here. New claim, and we can name it okay. So first of all, what should be the name of that claim is yeah, we can say we want claim type dot email, and we can pass model dot email here, right? I think for now that's fine. We can go with that one for then we need to initialize the claim identity, which is equals to new claim identity, and here we need to pass over claims and authentication type, which is currently we use. So we have used cookie authentication scheme, I guess. Authentication cookie authentication default dot, that would be scheme. I guess this is the one dot. We can just move this one here, dot key dot authentication scheme, like this. And at the end we need to create the principal object, right, which will take this identity object inside. Principal is equal to new, and that is claims principal, and it takes claims identity, and what it takes as an option, identities reader. No, we don't need anything else, I guess. Okay, we can rename it like claims principal, this way, and then we need to pass claims principal to the sign in async method. And next what we can do is we can double check its other options if we need them, which I don't think so for this time we required. So because this is an async method, we need to use await keyword here, and as soon as we add await keyword here, we need to make that method async, and we need to wrap this return type into this way. I think it's fine. Let's quickly add some comments. Creating list of claims, claims identity, and at the end we are creating claims principal object to pass to the sign in method. Signing in, good. And once it's done, we can go back to the home index action. We need to wrap this one into try catch. In any case, if we are not able to complete that action, we can go back to the login view. Return view this way, and we can pass model to it. Okay, and what is catch exception be like this, and actually we can use that return inside that catch method. Awesome. All right, so this is one thing, and we also need to add a view, which I think we already did. So let's generate that view from scaffolding. Just want to save some time, so let's go to the authentication and remove that login view, and let's try to generate it from scaffolding option. Okay, I want to create, I want to use for login model, and I don't need db context. Let's create. Hopefully that works. Taking some time to generate the code. Which I guess totally fine. So uh, at the end of this video we will have a login view, and once we logged in we should be able to view over other pages which we recently marked as authorized. uh, okay, we have email, remember me, and yeah, sounds good. Let's press Ctrl F5. Okay, okay, that's working now. Okay, so yeah, let's say abc at the rate of gmail.com, and password is standard 1234567 8, and click remember me. I am able to view different section of the portal, and this is because I'm logged in successfully. And the proof is, if you go to the applications tab in the development console of the Chrome browser, and you can now check that ASP.NET Core cookie has been created. If I delete this one and now try to access, I will be redirected to login view. So hence it's proof that we have successfully implemented the login implementation. So there will be our logic to compare user from database or any other user provider, right? So here will be our logic, right? So after the verification part, we pull user from database or some third-party service. We compare the user. If it's authentic, if user exists, then we can go with this code, which means that authentication is not linked with the database or identity. We can just simply implement that through plain authentication and authorization classes, like here we did. Okay, this is one thing, as we have seen in the console, that it has specific name, ASP.NET Core something. So we can change the different properties. If we go to the infrastructure, there should be a couple of other properties as well that we can change. So one property should be cookie name, I guess. Cookie options dot cookie name. So we can set its our own name as well for that cookie. Let's set it like store management cookie, right? And now if we log in, our cookie name should be store management cookie instead of ASP.NET Core cookie. Let's try this as a last action of this video. Cookie name, okay. Method not found. Void cookies options. Okay. Method not found, and that should be an issue because we have used separate package to configure that authentication and authorization. I think that would be an issue. That could be an issue. So the other way is we can go to the dependencies and we can add references from, let's say if we type ASP.NET Core, if we can include whole ASP.NET Core inside our infrastructure project. Okay, so there are a couple of options. ASP.NET MVC Core. So we have one here, but it's also pretty old one, which means we need to see other options to use that one. So it's coming that it's deprecated. Okay, this property is obsolete and will be removed in future version until ASP.NET Core cookie builder.name on cookie authentication option. Cookie authentication options. And what is this one? This is cookie authentication options dot cookie dot cookie. Okay, and this cookie is cookie builder dot, it will not be a dot, it will be a new cookie builder, and it will require name. Okay, store management cookie, and let's use this one, F5, and now let's see if that works. Yeah, it certainly did. Now let's double check again. abc@gmail.com 12345 6. Now you can see that our cookie name is set to the store management cookie. So this is how we can play with those configuration to set them according to our requirement. There are a couple of different more options as well, like we can restrict for a specific domain, expiration, can set HTTP only, max age, or same site, secure policy. There are a lot of different options to configure the cookie. So we have implemented the basic version of it. So now we can log in and we can make our actions authorized. In next video we will be implementing logout, right? And we will be implementing the roles implementation as well. Hopefully that will be a useful video for you guys. In case of any question or queries, to ask in the comments. Take care, keep learning. Allah Hafiz.